What is KyberSwap? Kyber Network has been a leader in decentralized finance since 2017. Our flagship product, KyberSwap, is a multi-chain decentralized exchange aggregator and liquidity platform. It provides traders access to tens of thousands of tokens at the best rates and maximizes returns for liquidity providers. For traders, it is hard to compare token exchange rates on different decentralized exchanges. With a single click, KyberSwap splits your trade and swaps tokens across multiple dexes within the chain through an optimal route, getting you the best rates in one simple transaction. No more searching, comparing, and calculating. KyberSwap identifies the best token rates on more than 10 networks, with over 60 popular dexes and more than 20,000 tokens supported. For token liquidity providers, KyberSwap gives the best returns for anyone that adds liquidity into our pools for any token. KyberSwap has high capital efficiency and maximizes the use of capital. This means less tokens required in our pools to achieve good liquidity and rates compared to other platforms. With our special yield farms, you can even earn bonus incentives by adding token liquidity and staking your LP tokens into the farms. We collaborate with the best DeFi and GameFi projects to get you the best rewards. For decentralized applications, dApps can easily integrate KyberSwap to access token liquidity from our pools and get the best rates for their own users. KyberSwap is committed to security. It is open source, audited and insured, so you can trade and earn with confidence. It is also completely permissionless, providing a seamless user interface and experience, and making it easy for anyone to trade, add, or access liquidity. Kyber Network Crystal, KNC, is Kyber's governance and utility token. With KNC, you can add liquidity on KyberSwap's KNC pools to earn fees, stake on Kyber DAO to vote on proposals and earn rewards, earn interest on lending platforms, or use KNC as collateral to borrow other tokens. KyberSwap saves you time and lets you trade and earn at the best rates while getting KNC rewards and more. Trade on KyberSwap now.
Hello everyone, my name is Imran. I'm the head of marketing of Kyber Network and KyberSwap. I'm so excited to be here hosting KyberSwap's first community AMA with our CEO Victor Tran. Thanks for joining us today, all Kyberians from all over the world. First and foremost, make sure you are seated comfortably, listen in, like, share, comment, tag friends, because we are discussing the future of Kyber Network, the future of DeFi together, and there'll be lots of exciting things lined up today. Today, we will talk with Victor. We will ask him about Kyber's 5-year anniversary, our journey, where we are headed. We will take in community submitted questions. We will even answer live questions from you, the audience, that are tuning in all across the internets, from Facebook, YouTube, so on and so forth. And today we have a giveaway mechanism. So you have to stay focused, pay attention. We will have 5 questions that will display at the bottom of the screen. The questions will come out one by one. And please check the link in the comment section and submit your answers in that link. When you answer the questions correctly, when we have more people tuning in, you will have a lot more rewards. So we will release the questions one by one. Stay with us until the end of the AMA for the last question. Otherwise, you may not be able to answer all the questions. So let's look at the rewards. We will unpack up to 12,000 US dollars worth of giveaways today on this live stream, only for people who are on this live stream. So make sure you like, share, comment, tell your friends, share it out on Telegram, share it out on your Twitter, share it out on your WhatsApps. The more friends, the more Kyberians, the more participants, the more rewards will be unlocked. So how much are we going to give away? I want to give away as much as possible, but it's up to you. Make sure that you like, comment, share, tag your friends, and we will open up with the first question. Please submit your answer in the form that we pin in the comment so that we can collect your full information. If you comment in the comment box below, you will not be counted. You must submit your questions. You must submit the answer to your questions in the link provided. So, are you excited? I am. So let's start our first community live stream with a quick recap video of our 5 years. 5 years is a long time in blockchain and DeFi, guys. So let's take a look at what Kyber Network has done in the past 5 years. Let's go.
Just demo it.
Kyber 3.0 is the biggest upgrade to Kyber's architecture since its inception.
Là cái năm mà chúng ta sẽ lớn mạnh và grow.
What is that? I don't understand.
Without further ado, let's welcome and introduce Kyber Network CEO, Victor. Victor, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm happy to be here as well. This is my first AMA to the communities, and yeah, super excited.
Awesome. Where are you tuning in right now? Are you in Ho Chi Minh, Hanoi, somewhere else?
So I'm based in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, but I'm in Hanoi right now because we have 3 offices. One is in Hanoi, one is in Ho Chi Minh City, and one is in Singapore. So I have to travel back and forth once in a while. Yeah.
Awesome. And Hanoi is the location of our new building that Kyber Network has just inaugurated as well. So I can't wait to visit as well. So Victor, could you tell us, you co-founded and you were CTO of Kyber Network for several years. Can you introduce yourself? And now that you're CEO, what can people expect?
Okay, so I guess this is my first time AMA to the communities, and my official introduction to myself is that my name is Victor. I do have a Vietnamese name as well, but this is very, very hard to pronounce, so just a mixed name. Victor is my name. I got promoted to the CEO positions in the middle of January this year, and yeah, I'm super thankful to be here today and answer all of the questions about Kyber as a company, KyberSwap as a product, and KyberDAO, the governance modules of KNC tokens, and also other liquidity protocols from Kyber, and also very happy to answer a question about myself as well. Yeah.
Cool. I'm sure the community are very excited to ask you questions. So for those tuning in, please keep your questions running because we will pick some questions to ask Victor right after this. Victor, can you share with us why did you become CEO?
Well, this is a big question. So I has been I'm one of the co-founder, and I have been here with Kyber from the beginning since 2017, right? And getting into the CEO is actually one of the very, very hard decisions for both myself and Lois, the previous CEO. So it is a big decision, and the reason behind it is also complicated and very, very well thought. So before answering the questions why I get into CEO, I don't want to take it slightly, right? I want to walk through everyone of the community to the history of Kyber to see what Kyber has been done and what was something wrong with the execution of Kyber in the past that led to the new CEO positions. So Kyber was found in 2017 with the missions of bringing a really easy to use decentralized chain to Ethereum ecosystem. And by that time, decentralized chains wasn't very well known as they are right now. And most of the swap services are either hybrid between off-chain order books and on-chain settlements, and there's no swapping interface. So in the early 2018, we shipped the very first version of Kyber Network. So in that setup, we have the Kyber Network smart contract, the reserve, and the reserve it was very optimized in order to run with reserve operators. It was optimized for our market making algorithm. So it's a little bit different from well, actually it's different from the liquidity pools that we really run over right now. With the product, we introduced the very first standardized UI for on-chain swapping service. So the things that you know, like input token, output token, input token amount, and the min rate for the settlement, this is very well known right now. This is very common right now, but back then it was not there. So Kyber brought the first one, and we was also the first aggregation service that aggregates and choose the best price of the tokens among all the reserve for takers, and that is super easy for people to trade with it. And also we shipped KyberSwap as a UI for Kyber Network smart contract. And later on in 2019, we believe in the DeFi space. So in 2019, early 2019, DeFi was not a thing yet. And then we went ahead and we believe in the on-chain swap function that should be very, very beneficial for many protocols, many on-chain protocols to be integrated. And we focus on integrating the KyberSwap functions into more than 200 projects by that time. And early 2019, we got into the top one decentralized chain for a few months. In 2020, we introduced the DAO to make KNC holder more of a government module for Kyber, instead of just like token holders getting benefits from holding the tokens, hoping for the price to go up because of the deflation model. So with the new DAO, KNC holder can stake, can vote, and also get reward by voting. And right now, you can also do the same thing. So we believe that the DAO and the possibilities for people to get reward by using KNC to stake and to vote with the DAO is a big step forward in order to keep KNC as a token that has intrinsic value. And Kyber is one of the few projects in the market, in the community right now, that the token really have intrinsic value. However, in the later half of 2020, we witnessed a huge movement of DeFi. The movement was with retail capital utilization. So it was more and more decentralized protocol that they don't really need any kind of like professionalism in market making. And by that time, we didn't think it was a good movement of the market, because with the experience of working with the reserve, working with professional market makers, and we have seen a lot of algorithm, we have seen the complexities in order to do market making. We thought that in order for market makers to make profit, they have to have the complicated algorithms, have to act fast with the market, and also it's just not possible for people to just like put liquidity there and then they just profit, right? And that is also not the case even for now. However, so given that experience and given the mindset of long-term sustainability for the market, we stayed outside of the retail capitals and games, and we kept optimizing our smart contract. We upgraded it to facilitate more optimized trading outcomes. So it optimized for professional market makers. It also optimized for the returns of the trade. But in the later of 2019, when the bull run happened and the price of Ethereum pumped, and the adoption of Ethereum network is also increased a lot, and it made the gas price super expensive. And the model of Kyber network back then was very expensive. The fees you had to pay for the gas was it was not practical, and people couldn't trade with it anymore. So in 2021, we admitted to ourselves that the skepticism was bad, and the combination of simple market making and professional market making is actually the future. So we proposed to the community that we change KNC token to KNC token version 2. So that version 2 comes with the possibilities, for KNC to introduce inflation model, which means that the KNC holder, they can decide to mint more KNC in order to give to the DAO to grow the ecosystem. So that is one. And so we ship the smart contract, the Kyber network smart contract, to be a hub of liquidities, because we believe that AMM is the future. So we believe that the amount of capitals in the hands of retail market makers is huge, and the combinations of retails and professionals market maker is the future. So the shipping of the vision to the hub of liquidity protocols is supposed to be to set the DAO and KNC to be beneficial of multiple liquidity protocols, and we introduced DMM. So DMM was the very first liquidity concentration protocol, which is more flexibilities than curves, in a sense that we can also provide very, very dense liquidities for packing tokens, and at the same time, it is possible for us to provide concentrated liquidities for any pairs, even if it is very volatile. So those are all things like briefly about the history of Kyber. But if you have followed enough with Kyber history, you will see that in 2020 and 2021, Kyber was a little bit behind of the market, because we didn't get into the DeFi summer, because we had to shift from a different model, the old network one, which was very expensive, to DMM, to the hub of liquidities. So the transition is huge. Like, so much thing we have to change in inside of the teams and things like that. And one of the reasons why it was a little bit unfocused back then is that so Lois and I, we took a step back. We took a step back and we did like self-reflection of the whole teams of Kyber, and we figured out that we have done the vision, the original vision with the ICO, like with the Kyber network in 2017, and we should have a new vision. And we decided with and actually we had a really, really strong and long-term vision, but the vision requires huge amount of execution and really, really good managed team. And we decided to work as a long-term corporation instead of a startup. And in order to do so, we have to have management system process. We have to have people that focus more on management, focus more on the ways that we build the product and shipping the product to closer to the users, closer to the communities and things like that. So by that time, I was the one with the most knowledge of Kyber history, and I did have the technical mindset because I grew from being an engineer to the head of engineering to CTO, and also at the same time I spent a lot of times to build the teams, to grow and went with the Kyber team to all of the changes there. So I was the pretty natural choice, to be the new CEO. So to recap, right, the reason I became the CEO was that Kyber vision changed, and Kyber need a different way to run as a corporation, and I'm also more suitable as a leader of such vision and also team management. And I think that beside Lois and myself, there's no one that can dedicate ourselves to Kyber back then. So yeah, that was basically all the reason.
What a fantastic sharing. Thanks for sharing very in-depth and very real background, history, and reasons. Let me remind everyone that's tuning in that you need to answer 5 questions. You'll see question 1 and question 2, but do not submit your form until you've answered all 5 questions. And you need to stay tuned throughout the AMA to answer all 5 questions. So if you want to win, answer all 5 questions. If you want more chances, make sure you like, share, comment, tag your friends so that they can participate and we can all unlock more rewards together and more people can win. So let's move on. Victor, so after 5 years, and now you're taking over as CEO, what's changed and what's the same? What can you share about that?
Yeah, so I have been with the team since the beginning, right? It's been 5 years, such a long time in crypto space, and we even want the teams and want the companies to be much longer term, to be here for much longer term for to contribute, right? And one of the most important things for being long term is that you have to be consistent. And I want to take this chance to introduce to what will not change, and in the futures we will commit ourselves, to make it super consistent, so that we are really reliable for people. So the first one that will not change is that so Kyber has been built by ethical people, so we will always stay ethical. It sounds a little bit obvious and silly, right? But this is not silly at all, because I think in this market, when things change a lot, so many short-term trends and the potential of gaining short-term benefits and like a lot of drama and things like that, being ethical as a teams and committed to be ethical is one of the value that we want to make it very, very consistent, and we will not change. And I think the value of being ethical is super undervalued right now in the market. So that is one. The second one is Kyber will remain transparent. as possible as much as possible. So transparency is one of our first priority cultures that we are building in the team right now. And we believe that transparency is actually the key philosophy of public blockchain. And that is actually the reasons why we're here, right? With DeFi and with everything that is supposed to be doing on-chain, secure by the on-chain things like that. So that is the second one, transparency. The third one is that I want to make it very clear, consistent. It will not change, is that so Kyber will always develop the business to serve two groups of people. The first one, which the most important one, is KNC holders. So whatever we do, we think of KNC holders in order to increase the utilities of KNC, in order to increase the intrinsic value of KNC, in order to have KNC to bring more of fairness for KNC holder and things like that. So that is one. The second group is actually the Kyber network as a company. We want to make it super clear and super clear and transparent to ourselves and to everyone in the companies, in the community, is that we also need to serve the benefit of the Kyber network as a company, because we want the team to be sustainable as long as possible. We want to stay here for decades. So this is not a few years. We want to be here for decades, trying to push the whole community for a very long-term times. And you can expect that in the future, we will not change that, and we will be very, very transparent, and will communicate very clearly about which part of the business will be for KNC holders and which part of the business will be for the companies. That is, we committed to be transparent. The next one is that we will always advocate for safety of the decentralization of the decentralized world. So we commit to be always non-custodial businesses, and also we commit ourselves to financial privacy. So by privacy, it means that we really evaluate highly. What we don't have right now is that trading history shouldn't be linked to any form of identity. That is also a very long-term thing that we will work toward. The next one is, whatever we do, we always put security as a first priority constraint. So whatever we do, if we develop a new protocol, product strategies, or execution, right? We always put security to be the first priority. So this is not about growth. This is not about benefit. This is not about the ways for people to make money, but it is always about security for people first, and user safety and the trust of user is the highest priority for Kyber team. So maybe you can see that Kyber is a little bit slow in terms of fast trending, all the trends, things like that. This is not because we are lazy. This is not because we are not capable of doing things like that, but this is because we have to assess and we have to consider a lot of things for securities and things like that. So that is, that is the one. The last one is, so whenever we do businesses, even if we do the businesses, right? We keep our mind with the scientist heart. We keep the heart with the scientist one. So by the scientist heart, it means that we always want to push forward and push toward more efficiency of things. So whatever we do for more efficiency. So let's, for example, we introduce DMM as a liquidity protocols. We introduce capital efficiency there. And for whatever we introduce in the future, it is for more efficiency. So the way we compete with the competitors, the way we compete and we push to the market is that we introduce more efficiency instead of like we are trying to compete, trying to make the other competitor worse or things like that, or drama and things like that. This is not the way for Kyber. So all of those things will not change. and will never be changed in the futures. And I think those values is very important for the communities and for the users to be able to rely on Kyber as a team, as a company, in order to push forward a financial product. So those are the things that will not change. But we do have something that changed, because as I answered in the previous questions, right? The vision of KyberSwap changed to something that is longer term, and because the market changed from like compared to 2017 to 2019 to 2020, 2021, right? The movement of the market happens in the macro trend is that more and more adoptions, more and more massive users coming in to the space. And like back in 2017, 2018, 2019 or so, the solution that you can provide is the most important factor for you to grow. But for now, because like more and more users coming into the space, they want to have more professional teams to work with them. They want to have higher qualities of the product to work with them and things like that. So the change of the teams is supposed to be deliver a better product, a higher quality product, safer product, and things like that. So what changed is, the first one is that the vision is redefined to be much more longer term. And yeah, I will talk about that later. The second one is we will focus on KyberSwap as our only flagship product. So everything we build, it will be around KyberSwap. Even for KyberDAO and things like that, it will be brought to KyberSwap. So whenever you think of Kyber, you think of KyberSwap. Whenever you think of KyberSwap, you think of Kyber. So that is the second chain. The last chain is actually the huge change when I got into the CEO is we have a new team structure. So the team structure is designed in a way that we can do a lot more execution and in a more robust and long-term manner. So I would like to take this chance, to introduce the new high management teams of the new Kyber. So the first one is CEO is me, Victor. The second one is the CTO. His name is Mike. He grew from a very young, talented smart contract engineers in Kyber and now became the CTO, which is such an amazing journey for Mike. He was very talented and contribute a lot in technical decisions of Kyber. Next, we have the head of product. So his name is Parker. Parker and his team main responsibilities is to define KyberSwap features in order to achieve the vision that we have for KyberSwap. Next one is head of engineering. Tu and the team has the responsibilities to develop all the technical foundations and with high quality, high reusability for the whole company. So in Kyber, we've really focused on, because we set ourselves to be a very long-term company, and in order for the long-term company to go fast, and for us to bring a lot more value, we set reusability is one of the very high-level culture of the teams. So Tu and his team responsibility is huge, to develop the high qualities and highly reusable technical foundations. The next one is head of research. His name is Zhang. His and his team main responsibilities is to invent protocol formulas, and we also focus on zero knowledge technologies. You already see that we launched the concept of Z Kyber, which is supposed to prevent fund-running experience for users, so users don't have to worry about fund-running. That is one of the results from research department job and the teams. And we also focus on machine learning algorithms in order to make our vision possible. So a little bit different from before. We will get into the machine learning. We will get into the data business. The next one is head of marketing, Amran. You already know Amran. His team responsibility is to bring KyberSwap to the massive users. The next one is head of business development, Sasha. Sasha and her team's main responsibility is to bring KyberSwap to be integrated to more and more projects, and also bringing KyberSwap solution to more institutions. So this is very important for BD to bring KyberSwap to be integrated in a widely range of projects, because in DeFi it is very important to bring the solutions and to connect all of the protocols using our own solution there. The next one is the head of KNC and DAO, which is a very, very special head, Shane. So Shane has been the face of Kyber team for to our communities for 4 years. So Shane and his team's main responsibilities is to make sure that KNC token utilities and KNC holder interests are aligned with the whole company, because Kyber is one of the very few projects that make it super clear the interest of the token holders and the interest of the team itself. And in order to align between them, we have to have someone that take the whole that responsibilities in the team. So Shane and the team is ensure that KNC token utilities and KNC holder interests are all aligned with everything that we do. The next one is head of trading, Spiros. So Spiros is one of the mastermind behind Kyber Reserve back in 2017, 2018, 2019, and his team is to manage our own company's treasury. That is one, and the second one is the team will work very closely to KyberSwap in order to use it, in order to give the feedback for the team to make the product more and more useful. So we don't rely solely on. This is not the only choice for us to rely on the external feedback from user. We need that, but at the same time we have trading teams inside of the teams to give a very healthy feedback loop to the teams in order to provide more reliable product, more useful product, and more optimized product, which is for a lot more efficiency. The last one is head of people, James. So James has been here with Kyber for a very long time, since the very beginning, 4 years. And Jen and her team's responsibilities is to make Kyber Network a very great place to work, and everyone in the teams will thrive with the environment. So the working environment here is we ensure transparency, we ensure honesty, we ensure the ethic of Kyber team, we ensure everything else. Yeah, so all the thing is what will not change and what will change. Yeah, I hope that is very clear to the community. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, guys, Victor is really opening up his whole plans. Make sure that you guys are answering the quiz questions. Make sure you're commenting, tagging your friends. Make sure you're sharing it out. So let's move on to the next question. Victor, you were saying that KyberSwap is the core and the future of Kyber Network. Can you share why?
Yeah, so it is also coming from the past. So we learn lessons. So in the past, we have a different products. We have KyberSwap, we have KyberDAO, we have DMM, we have Kyber.network website. We also have the Kyber Pro. We also have like different things. So when someone mentioned about Kyber, I think it is quite hard for them to know exactly what product we are talking about, right? So that is one lesson. And another thing is, so we want to make it super focused for everyone to know that Kyber is KyberSwap. KyberSwap is Kyber. It is that simple. So that is one. The second reason is, so KyberSwap vision is to become a real decentralized chain that give the traders all of the utilities that they can do with a centralized chain, but this is with a better safety, privacy, and fairness, which is a very, very long term and so many challenging technical problems in terms of like liquidity protocols, in terms of how do we address the privacy issue, and how do we resolve all the user experience issues with the blockchain and things like that. Is very complicated and challenging, and I think that all of those things is way enough for the team to focus on. So we don't want to split the focus of the teams to too many products. We want to stay focused. We want to be long-term, stay focused, keep pushing toward one thing. So yeah, with all of those reasons, I think it makes sense, to focus on KyberSwap as the only product for the teams for a very long term.
Thanks for sharing, Victor. So guys, we have one last question for Victor, or I have one last question before we get to community questions. So make sure you are commenting your question in the chat box, no matter where you are watching, Facebook, YouTube, or wherever. You have any questions, keep commenting those questions, and our team will be looking out for good questions, to maybe more difficult questions that you can pose to Victor, for Victor and later Shane to answer as well. So Victor, one last question. Thanks for sharing earlier about the journey. Can you share with us, what does the future hold? What's the key focus, plan, and objective coming up next for you?
Yeah, so we focus on KyberSwap. That is something that very clear in the previous question, right? And a vision for KyberSwap is a decentralized chain that people can do everything with the same two centralized chains, but with a different characteristic. Safety, non-custodial, privacy is one thing, things like that. So, but in order to reach that visions, we have to split it into different phases. And one of the phases is we have to make KyberSwap as a place for traders to do trading activities, like everything they have to find, everything they have to do in order to trade should be on KyberSwap. So the next things we focus on KyberSwap is making KyberSwap a very useful place for trader to go, and then they find enough informations, they trade and different things. So in order to focus on that kind of vision, making KyberSwap more useful that way, we have a different approaches for takers and maker. For takers, we want to close the trading loop for people, for trader. So whenever you do a trade, right, you try to look up for market view, market sentiment, and things like that. So we commit ourselves to expand to the data mining business. So we believe that the amount of data the space is generating every block, all the informations over the other services such as Nansen, Dune Analytics, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, TradingView, Twitter, all of those informations, all of the data is huge, and it should be enough for us to get the insight from those data and bring to users. So that trader, they have all of the trading insight. They can make the decision faster and better. So that is one. So after they make decision and then they go ahead, they trade with Kyber. We commit ourselves that we want to reach the goal that we bring the best possible return for trader. And as you already know, that DEX aggregators like one-inch, ParallelSwap, Matcha, things like that, they also commit to the best rate, right? And we also commit ourselves to give users with the best rates. But even further than that, we commit ourselves not to take any fees. So it will be free forever for everyone in order to take the trading result. So we don't take fee, we don't take any cuts over the trading result from users. So after the user making decisions, they trade with the best possible return, then we have a risk management factor of the product. So after they do there, they make decision, they trade, and then they have the features on KyberSwap in order to review for their own risk management. So, for example, if you buy a token and that price of the token remains to be open positions, right? So that kind of open position is one of the risk management thing, and it should be in the trading loop. So in recap, right? In recap, people should be making decisions faster and better with KyberSwap, and then they trade with the best price possible, and then they manage the risk with their own trading history and things like that. So that is for taker. For maker, we believe in the futures of mixing between professional market makers and retail market makers. So we have the experience with Kyber since the beginning. We have been running Kyber Reserve from 2017 to 2020, and also we run DMM protocol from 2021 until now. With all of those experience, we see a very complete landscape of market making landscape. So people, market makers, they go to Kyber, they should find optimized protocols for their own needs, for their own ways to do market making. So this is not just a curve, but it is more than one curve, or it is more optimized for different use cases, for different macro market sentiment. Like in the bull market, you do what; in the bear market, you do what, and even more optimized protocols, both on-chain, both off-chain protocols for you to do to bring on market making services, and that is the approach for KyberSwap that we will be focusing on in the next at least 2 years.
Thanks for sharing, Victor. So yeah, different use cases, all use cases for all types of users in all in one and safe, secure way. Awesome. So we've come to the community question segment. And within this community question segment, before I get to this, I want to make sure that the audience remembers, if you're tuning in, if you want to win, make sure that you're submitting the answers to the questions via the link that is pinned in the comment. There are 5 questions together. So it might not be enough to answer 1 or 2 or 3 or even 4 questions. There are 5 questions, and you should wait for all 5 questions and answer all 5 before you submit. We'll move on to the next part. And in this part, we will answer submitted questions from the community. And I would like to invite and introduce our head of KNC and DAO, Shane Hong, to join Victor and myself to answer questions from our community. Let's welcome Shane.
Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Shane.
Hi, Shane. So let's start with the first question. Team, let's get the first question up. What is your strategy to anticipate hacking possibilities on Kyber network? What plan do you have in order not to let your project get hacked and cause investors panic? And this is from Young Savior.
Okay, for this question, let me take the questions and I will answer it. So first of all, thank you, Young Savior, to put the question. That is, I think the question is addressing a very big pain point of the market, right? So many projects, so many protocols being developed, being launched every day, and I think this is a good thing for the community, but also this is something that we have to think really carefully, because in order for in Kyber, right, we really focus on securities, and one of the things that we are really proud of is that in the past 5 years, we haven't had any major hacks. The user loss of money is almost zero, and things like that. So that is something that we have the experience in order to answer these questions. So based on the experience, I think the only way for a company or a project to ensure that the protocols is secure is that they have to commit themselves to audit. So that is one. The second one is you have to spend and you have to invest enough of technical foundation. So we have to have enough of the teams working with the protocols, doing testing, and we also in Kyber we also have internal hackathon in order to introduce the protocols to everyone in the companies, and everyone in different teams of the companies go gather around to fight bugs, and then we incentivize for the bug fighting. So for all of those things, and we always work with the highest reputable auditors as possible, and we even have to wait for the times to have the protocol audited and things like that. That is also one reason why Kyber is seems like a little bit slow, but it is not for again, it is for security. Again, it is not for like going with the trends or breaking things. We are not a fan of test on production. I'm sorry, but we are not a fan of that. So that is a thing I think we have to, and Kyber will commit to do in the futures in order to reduce the chance of getting hacked, in order to reduce the chance of introducing bugs and vulnerables in the protocol. So that is with the first question. With the second questions, like what do we have in order to let project, like what is planned, to not to get the project get hacked. So that is one of the answer I just answered. But also beside of the hacking things, right? We have been working with insurance companies, to have some protection for the protocols, and we have and we also, the team is also very actively looking for and talking to insurance protocols, the big firms doing insurance, to collaborate to see how they can contribute insurance value to the market, and we commit ourselves to help them. So those are the things that related to your questions.
Thank you. Shane, anything to add?
Yes. So from perspective of a Kyber employee, I've been with Kyber for 4+ years, and I think I'm really proud to be part of a project that places a lot of emphasis on user security and professionalism right from day one. So I've seen firsthand our engineering team is really world-class. Whenever we innovate and try to launch a new project or feature or protocol, we always spend considerable time, effort, and resources to ensure that user security is put as paramount importance. And like Victor said, right, over 5 years we have not faced any major vulnerability. We have facilitated over $8 billion in trading volume without any issues. And when we launch very big initiatives, for example, Wrapped Bitcoin, we had to get the trust and support of a lot of the top DeFi projects in the space. And they trusted us with that. When we initiated and talked to them about that project, they supported us. And today, WBTC is the #1 traded wrapped version of Bitcoin on other chains outside of Bitcoin. So I think all this is testament to the Kyber's commitment to security, and how internally we as Kyber team members, we are all daily users of KyberSwap as well. So we trust on our ability in ensuring security, and even externally, other projects also have a lot of respect for Kyber's commitment to its security.
There you have it. So let's move on to the second question. Reminder, if you guys are wanting to ask your questions, keep your questions coming with your comments. Second question is this: are there any new functions you intend to add to your site? If so, what are they and how will they contribute? from Azazi Osgur. So people asking for some alpha and product roadmaps.
Yeah. Product roadmap and alpha is always a thing for the community, right?
Yeah.
But let me go forward and answer the question. So based on the visions I just answered in the previous questions, we will stick the KyberSwap. We will stick with that long-term visions. We want to introduce two-side feature set that is running with the data mining algorithms in order to aggregate data, in order to mine the data, to get more insight for users, so that you can, for example, training soon feature, right? You can expect more of the different insight like that in the future, so that before you get into a trade, you go to KyberSwap, you check for those insight, try to see if it helps you in any ways. So the purpose of those features is to make you a better trader, making the decision making process faster and better. So that is one. The second one is we are going to launch a few more liquidity protocols that is enable to that enables Kyber to have more of a unique features. So maybe order book is something that is not on chain, but limit orders on chain is possible, and also limit orders, and also different protocols optimized for different needs is on the way. And and also later on we have risk management set of features, so you can go there, seeing the portfolio, trying to see what is the risk factor of your portfolios right now, and what is the suggestion for you to do with the portfolio and things like that. So those are the things. Is a little bit of alpha, but it is also long term, and we have even more and more in the future.
Shane?
Yeah, I'd just like to add, right? Sometimes alpha could come from your own feedback and comments. So at KyberSwap, we really value feedback. Our product team regularly check with the marketing team to check to ask for feedback from the community, and we have a contact us form and a feedback form on KyberSwap that is easily accessible. So whenever you have ideas or any issues that you found on KyberSwap, you can let us know, and by compiling all this user feedback, that gives us a very good insights into what you as users would want next on KyberSwap. And anything that is that will really add value to your trading and liquidity provision experience, I'm sure our product team would implement it over time. Another alpha, I guess, actually we have talked about this before, but I would like to highlight that at Kyber we really want to see KNC as a token, right, be a core focus of KyberSwap as well, right? And it's as a token is used to align the incentives of all the stakeholders for Kyber. And over time, we are already looking into ways we can improve the KNC token utility, and how using KNC on KyberSwap can yield more benefits for traders, liquidity providers, holders, and more. So yeah, stay tuned for more updates about the KNC token as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Next question will be, what are your security mechanisms in such an environment? How do you provide this? Why should users trust you? From Onurazazi2.
All right, let me take these questions, because
Okay.
I think it touched on a very interesting aspect of a company, which is I don't see many people in the industry, in the communities talking about it on Twitter. So the security mechanisms, things like that, I already answered in one of the questions. So with this, I focus on why and how user trust you. So that is a very interesting thing. So how do user trust someone? So whenever user use KyberSwap or interact with the team and things like that, they have to trust two things. The first one is that they have to trust the team. Second one is they have to trust the product. So the teams is with the companies, is with the human resource of the companies, the DAO, and the product, right? So let me talk about the team first, because this is with human, very interesting. So when you want to trust someone, or you decide to trust someone, you have to evaluate, like, how long is a relationship, like how long have they been there, being consistent, committed to contributing value, not harming anyone and things like that. So that is for the time factor. The second one is you just, if the team is competent, capable enough in order to provide what you want them to provide. So that is the second one. The third one is you have to have a very consistent way and close way in order to communicate with the teams. So not anonymous team. We are here disclosing ourselves, being a real people behind the teams. You can talk to us anytime. We are here to help, and we are here to provide. We're here to facilitate for things. So all of those things, I think it makes it the materials, the ingredients for trust. So we commit ourselves to be like that. We have been here for 5 years, and even more in the future. We're not going anywhere. That is one. We don't close ourselves. We don't mask ourselves with any kind of cartoon avatar and things like that. We give the real identities, and you can talk to us in real life. You can talk to us in on different channels and things like that. So that is the second one. The third one is that we have been contributing value for the space since 2017. We are pushing forward for liquidity protocols. We're pushing forward for efficiency. You also see that KyberSwap is with really high quality product, and even with the new team structures, this is possible for us to do even more execution and push for more features, and the product is more well formed. So we are committing ourselves to those things. And for the product, right? You trust the product if that product is reliable enough. So you go to the product, you get what you see. That is one. You expect for the product to be in high quality, professional. That is another one. And whenever you have anything happen with the product, you have a customer support, you have a super fast response from the teams, and the team is committed to help you instead of protecting the team itself. No, we don't protect ourselves. We're trying to help you guys. So and so all of those things is with our own culture, transparent, ethical, collaborative, really focused on security and things like that. So those are the things that is a very long-term strategies, require time to test it and things like that. Is our own strategies for people to trust it. Yeah.
Thank you. Shane, anything to add?
Nothing much more. I think Victor covered a lot of that. So, like he said, we always go through audits, some of the top audit firms like Chain Security, Hacken, and we also insure, right? KyberSwap, currently it's insured up to $20 million with Unslash, and in the future we're going to purchase more insurance cover for KyberSwap as well. So, overall, just going and use KyberSwap and see, like Victor said, you get what you see, right? And when you use it, you can appreciate how much effort that has gone through the whole product design process to help users understand the user journey from swapping to liquidity provision and the discover feature. And yeah, so use KyberSwap. Ask us if you have any questions on how to use the product, or if you are a developer you want to integrate the product and you have concerns about security, ask our developer team. So we are always ready to answer your questions on Telegram
you,
or
guys.
Discord on Twitter.
So let's move on to the next question. Could you give an overview on what happened with Coinbase? How Kyber Network worked with Coinbase and users on this? Maybe Shane, would you like to go on this?
Yes, I will answer this question. So yeah, we truly understand that this Coinbase migration issue is a point of frustration for many of us, including Kyber team members, myself included. Some of us do have the old KNC token also on Coinbase. So on behalf of the team, I really like to thank all of you in the community for your patience and understanding during this period where we are trying to get the new KNC token listed on Coinbase. So when we first upgraded the KNC token last year, we initiated a migration process, right, which allowed anyone or any centralized exchanger to migrate the token on their own. And we also spoke with a lot of the top centralized exchanges, including Binance, FTX, KuCoin, Crypto.com, Gemini, and even Coinbase, right? Because we understood the importance of proactively talking to them and ensuring that the migration was smooth. So most of the top exchanges supported the new KNC token within a month, but unfortunately, Coinbase had a different process. Although KNC was already listed there, they were treating the migration as a listing of a new token altogether. While we respect, right, their due diligence process, which is very comprehensive and it takes a long time, we can't deny that it has already been many months. But the good news is over the past couple of months, they have dedicated a multidisciplinary team to actually work on ensuring that the KNC migration on Coinbase goes through successfully. So they have people from compliance, listings, audit, engineering within their team to help us with that. And they also, through their review, gave us a few pointers about how we can improve the decentralized aspects of the Kyber DAO and how to improve our Kyber DAO operations as well. So, for example, they suggested to us that we should increase our voting quorum, like the amount of KNC that is required to pass a vote. They suggested to us to increase the passing margin, the amount of KNC percentage between the accept and reject options before a vote can be passed. So we immediately addressed these concerns after we got it from them. We sent them all the technical documentation they required. We proposed changes to the governance parameters on the DAO through recent KIP, a Kyber Improvement Proposal that the DAO approved. And now the ball is in their court, right? So it's really up to Coinbase. There's other information that is confidential and that we can't share. We can't share everything. But rest assured that this remains a top priority for us, and we're truly committed to ensuring a fair outcome for all KNC holders. We understand your pain because we are affected as well. What I can say is that we are really close to the finish line. We are talking to Coinbase every week to get updates from them, and most of the requirements have already been fulfilled. It's on their side to finish up the last part of their review and to let us know. I really appreciate your understanding, and we thank you once again for all your support in pushing us, the Kyber team, and also pushing Coinbase on social media to get this through.
Awesome. Thanks, Shane. So we're gonna jump to live questions from the community, but first take a look. We have the next quiz question displaying in the screen. Don't forget to submit your form only after you've completed all the questions. Very interesting question. Wonder if you guys will get it right. So let's move on to the live questions, which is questions that 3 questions from the community that are watching live. So we have one question from, and I hope I get your name right, Namdi Ofebi Dime. What has the Kyber network put in place to stand the competition and give potential users confidence in making use of Kyber network over other networks? So why Kyber network? Why KyberSwap over competitors? Who would like to take this?
Yeah, I will take this question. Yeah. So before getting to answer these questions, I want to make it very clear and a little bit of contrast is that the market is already pretty developed, and a lot of massive users coming into DeFi, and there will be more in the futures. So what's set aside for Kyber network and KyberSwap as a product is that we commit ourselves to be the decentralized chains that provide for almost all the use case from centralized chains that you can expect. That is a long-term feature. That is a long-term vision for the KyberSwap. You can do all the things you can do with centralized chains on KyberSwap in a decentralized manner. And we even take a step forward is to ensure and to commit ourselves to work on privacy aspect of the decentralized chains. So that, for example, you trade on something, and then you trade more and more, but those data is not public to people. So maybe all the trade history is there. People can view that, but they cannot relate them to one identity, which is you. So that is for the long term. For a shorter terms, we focus on optimizing different liquidity protocols, and we focus on giving the best rate. We focus on not getting any fees, any cuts from your result, from your returns. And also we provide machine learning powered insight, the insight that we get from machine learning algorithm. We have the whole data scientist team working on that, and risk management. So all of those things combine into one product to provide you the convenience, the confidence, the trust, reliabilities of the product, so that you can just like go to KyberSwap and you trade. In terms of protocols, liquidity protocols performance, we keep optimizing liquidity protocols. So maybe someone in the community said that AMM era is gonna stop with Uniswap v3. We don't think so. We keep pushing innovations. We keep inventing new formulas and new utilities with AMM, because we think that AMM is one of the futures for people that really have a very clear and consistent way strategies in order to do market making. We believe in that features, and we keep optimizing there. You will see in the next 1-2 months, you will see that KyberSwap will have a few things that is very, very new, very optimized, and eatable for new possibilities. So with that kind of optimizations, and also we don't give up with AMM market and things like that, we really believe that the potential of KyberSwap is huge, and we will be here pushing to consistently pushing that. Yeah.
Awesome. Shane?
Yeah, I think we'll be sticking to our guns, right, in terms of like what value we want to provide to users. For traders, we're always looking at improving our DEX aggregation to give you the best rates. For liquidity providers, we'll continue to innovate, to add more protocols or improve the current protocols to ensure that liquidity providers always earn in the most capital efficient and manner that maximizes the potential of their capital. And for developers that want to use our technology, we'll always be open to working with them and providing the documentations for them to integrate and access all the benefits that come with the KyberSwap platform. So with keeping this in mind, I believe over the past few years, we have always stuck to like our vision and our professionalism and our commitment towards security. So personally, I'm confident that with Victor's leadership and our ever-growing team, so we are aggressively hiring and expanding the team, I think we have a very solid foundation to ensure that KyberSwap becomes the top place for everyone to trade and add liquidity.
Awesome. Let's move on to the next question. David Real. Hi, Victor. About the UI UX, will you say beginners will be able to use KyberSwap without a hitch, without getting frustrated with all the big terms of crypto?
Okay, because you already point out myself, right? I'll get ahead and answer the question. To be honest, we are trying to make the UI and user experience of KyberSwap as easy and as high quality as possible. But right now, I have to admit that KyberSwap is pretty hard to use for new users, for let's say beginners, right? The new people that coming in from traditional finance to crypto, because they have to understand about the wallets. They have to also understand about the tokens. They understand about a few concepts like the min rate, the slippage, the gap price, the nonce of the transactions, the way they have to interact with the wallet and things like that. The thing is very, very hard for beginners. We are super aware of that, and we commit ourselves. To two aspects in order to make it easier. The first one is we have to educate users. So how do we educate users? This is not a game for just like Kyber to go there and then educate everyone in the world, right? This is not that game. So everyone in the crypto space, even centralized chains, even decentralized chains, even competitors, everyone should commit to really, really high quality educational programs in order to push the whole community to be more understandable to users. And we also prevent users from making mistake like sending to a wrong address, or maybe setting the slippage too high so that they get sniped by sandwich attack and things like that. So that is the one, which is education, very, very long term. And we are also fighting ourselves in that responsibility as well. The second one is we are trying to make KyberSwap a lot more optimization so that people will avoid a few technical problem. For example, the nonce being pending, the transaction is not mine, and also the ways for people to review, work with MetaMask, work with all the wallets is more easier. So that is a second one. The third one is more of an interesting thing. So in the long-term vision of Kyber, we set Kyber to be the decentralized chains that provide for users the same use case with centralized chains, but with decentralized manner, privacy, and things like that. In order to do so, we cannot rely on on-chain blockchain dApps. So we also make a possibilities for the team to expand to even lower than a blockchain technologies, which is more about something that is lower than a blockchain. We customize, maybe we go to L2, maybe we already have the experience running with ZK, Kyber and things like that. So whenever we have such part of Kyber network, part of KyberSwap, that kind of features, whenever we have that, we will immediately think of the ways for people not to have to worry about all of the caveats like that, like nonce, gap price, things like that. It should be done seamlessly. Yep.
Shane, anything?
Yeah, I think in terms of education, the marketing team has done a very good job in organizing AMAs like this, even AMAs with other projects. We recently did one with Binance, a Learn and Earn campaign. We have an ongoing Learn and Earn campaign with CoinGecko, one of the top data analytics sites in crypto as well. So through these educational activities, I think in general, more people would be aware of how to use KyberSwap. But specifically for that question, I would have to agree that if you are new to crypto altogether, because you first would need to start with fiat, right? Actual currency before purchasing crypto, and then depositing crypto in a crypto wallet, and then using all these different decentralized applications. So if it's your first day in crypto, there might be some challenges. But if you are a beginner in DeFi, so you have basic crypto knowledge and done some crypto trades, I would say the KyberSwap UI UX is, in my opinion, one of the best in the space already. Obviously, there's a huge room for improvement still, and we are regularly getting feedback from users to optimize the UI UX so that it's as seamless as possible. And we are even considering looking at fiat on-ramp integrations, so that is a possibility. We're talking to some, and yeah, so we'll always look to improve the user experience. Let us know what you what you need help with when you're using KyberSwap.
Exactly. Thanks for the answers, guys. Let's do the last question from the audience, which is from Athena Turner. Is Kyber planning any TikTok promotions for the project after 5-year anniversary? Wow, very specific, right? How do you plan to reach wider audiences of the crypto community?
I like TikTok. Yeah. So, Amran, do you want to answer this question?
Yeah, why not, right? I think let me just share with everyone here. 5-year anniversary is a big deal for us. I think it's a big deal for anyone in blockchain and DeFi. If you've been around for 5 years, that means you've been working on DeFi, just like Kyber, before DeFi was called DeFi. So we like to celebrate 5 years of DeFi innovation. We actually, thanks to Shane and the Kyber DAO, they just voted through more than 40 million US dollars worth of KNC rewards for various activities, and you will see this from now all the way until October. So you're asking for campaigns, you're asking for rewards, you're asking for giveaways. You have to stay tuned because we have to give away a lot of this money. How? You look at the DAO being upgraded, being integrated into KyberSwap. You'll get more rewards when you participate in the DAO. How? When you participate within KyberSwap, you get more rewards as trading incentives. You get more rewards as liquidity mining incentives. We have ecosystem funds, which will be used to partner up with the chain foundations, which will be used to partner up with great projects within all the 11 chains that we are integrated with, so that you have more rewards with them. And if you are on the call running your own project that you believe is worthy of partnership with KyberSwap, then you can also reach out to us, because some of these grants are also allocated for partners. So just like this live stream here, we just had one as well last week with Binance. We are doing a lot of education outreach. So you'll see us on Binance, you'll see us on our channels, you'll see us on other projects, you'll see us on Bitcoin Magazine, you'll see us on Cointelegraph, you'll see us on Tech in Asia, you'll see us on CoinGecko. So we are really sparing no expense to really go out to the market, to really educate, to really spread the word of KyberSwap. And we're also doing this with the community. So a lot of community giveaways, a lot of social giveaways, a lot of referral giveaways. So really trust us, right? Like, we've already gotten the DAO to approve this. The DAO has already voted. They've already approved this. And we want to allocate this through all these channels. So this means that if you are a Kyber supporter, user, community member, when you do all of these things, when you're part of the community, when you're spreading the word, when you're trading, when you're adding liquidity, when you're taking part in all the different campaigns like social and referral, you can stand a chance to get more and more rewards. So I hope that answers your question. If you take a look at YouTube, if you take a look at TikTok, if you take a look at Facebook, you will also probably notice, if you look around for Kyber Network and KyberSwap, that there are also quite a number of videos and content that are starting to get generated about KyberSwap as well. So I hope you guys enjoy those. They are as much to educate as they are to entertain. So anything to add from either Victor or Shane here?
Yeah, I want to add something that so I have seen so many questions in the comments, and suddenly when the question about TikTok coming in, like a lot of comments about TikTok, like I like TikTok and things like that. And also I see that many people ask if KNC get into $10. So maybe if KNC, we don't know, right? We're trying our best. We are trying our best, to secure and increase the intrinsic value of KNC to the growth of KyberSwap, the usage of KyberSwap, and more and more in the futures. And if KNC ever get into $10, I will upload a TikTok video collaborating with it. So yeah.
So now Victor can't go back on that, right, guys? For the community,
Yeah,
you can hold Victor. You can hold Victor accountable for this. Okay, great. So I think we've gone through all the questions. I think at this point, I hope all of you enjoyed the answers that Victor and Shane provided. Maybe just as a last comment, Victor, Shane, any last words for our audience here today? Just looking at the conversation and all the questions that we've had. Any last parting words?
I do have, but Shane, maybe you want to go first?
Yes. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you everyone for your support the past 5 years. May the next 5 years be filled with more milestones and with KNC to go beyond $10 personal opinion, hopefully. And yeah, so appreciate all your support, and we couldn't have done it without you. See you guys on the moon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So a few words for myself. I'm really amazed with the amount of questions you guys have been putting on the comments. Like so many interesting questions. We just like don't have enough time, to cover all of them. So I will be on Telegram. I will be on Twitter. I spend time talking to customers. I spend time talking to the communities and so many people around the communities. Based like talking about Coinbase situation and things like that, already talked to me in person. So I spend time there. So if you want to really ask me questions, and I will answer it, and reach me out on Twitter and also Telegram maybe. Yes, and thank you all for the amazing first AMA that I have done with the community. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Victor, Shane. Okay, everyone say a goodbye to Shane and Victor. Let us end off this. If you guys like this live stream, please make sure you comment, share, tag your friends, share this out. Tell people about the word and the message and the vision and the movement of Kyber Network, KyberSwap. Be part of the community. Before we come to the end of the live stream, as a gift, we will display all questions. I know many people have been asking, where's the fifth question? Where's the fifth question? It's coming up, guys. It's coming up, right? So let's put all the questions up one last time. So the first 4 questions and then the fifth one. So the fifth question here is up. And remember, you have to answer all the questions in the form. And you still have a chance to up the stakes, up the rewards by sharing this out right now, tagging your friends right now, sharing it out within your DMs and your Telegrams. Let people know about what's going on with Kyber, because we are building out the future of DeFi. So are we going to display all 5 questions, team? Or are we just going to end off with question 5 now? Let's see. Cool. So thank you again for joining us. Remember, use KyberSwap.com. Go to KyberSwap. Follow us on all our socials. Remember that there is a giveaway today. Answer all the questions and put it within the link that is pinned in the comments. And we will announce the winners after this. If we unlock many more views, we will unlock many more rewards for all the community, for all the Kyberians here. Thank you again for being part of this live stream. Thank you for being part of our 5-year anniversary. We have lots of things that's going to be announced very soon, and we've barely just started. Thanks again, and see you soon. Stay back, because we're gonna have some very nice videos for those of you who came in late. See you. My name is Imran, and good night.
Just demo it.
Kyber 3.0 is the biggest upgrade to Kyber's architecture since its inception.
Là cái năm mà chúng ta sẽ lớn mạnh và grow lên.
What is that? I don't understand.
What is KyberSwap? Kyber Network has been a leader in decentralized finance since 2017. Our flagship product, KyberSwap, is a multi-chain decentralized exchange aggregator and liquidity platform. It provides traders access to tens of thousands of tokens at the best rates and maximizes returns for liquidity providers. For traders, it is hard to compare token exchange rates on different decentralized exchanges. With a single click, KyberSwap splits your trade and swaps tokens across multiple dexes within the chain through an optimal route, getting you the best rates in one simple transaction. No more searching, comparing, and calculating. KyberSwap identifies the best token rates on more than 10 networks, with over 60 popular dexes and more than 20,000 tokens supported. For token liquidity providers, KyberSwap gives the best returns for anyone that adds liquidity into our pools for any token. KyberSwap has high capital efficiency and maximizes the use of capital. This means less tokens required in our pools to achieve good liquidity and rates compared to other platforms. With our special yield farms, you can even earn bonus incentives by adding token liquidity and staking your LP tokens into the farms. We collaborate with the best DeFi and GameFi projects to get you the best rewards. For decentralized applications, dApps can easily integrate KyberSwap to access token liquidity from our pools and get the best rates for their own users. KyberSwap is committed to security. It is open source, audited and insured, so you can trade and earn with confidence. It is also completely permissionless, providing a seamless user interface and experience, and making it easy for anyone to trade, add, or access liquidity. Kyber Network Crystal, KNC, is Kyber's governance and utility token. With KNC, you can add liquidity on KyberSwap's KNC pools to earn fees, stake on Kyber DAO to vote on proposals and earn rewards, earn interest on lending platforms, or use KNC as collateral to borrow other tokens. KyberSwap saves you time and lets you trade and earn at the best rates while getting KNC rewards and more. Trade on KyberSwap now.